When we speak about artificial intelligence, we often imagine robots, automation, or high-tech industries. But today we are asking a different question. Can artificial intelligence transform agriculture?
Although farmers are using technologies, the scale is not much. And when they have to compete with countries like China and USA, they must have access to the best technologies. And that was the reason why our Honorable Chief Minister decided that we must be the first one to bring a dedicated policy.
Maharashtra has taken a historic step. It has become the first state in India to announce a dedicated artificial intelligence policy for the agricultural sector.
When you talk to the farmers, each of them would say, we're not afraid of working very hard. What we are afraid of is the unpredictability.
This is called hyper-local advisories, which are tailored to the farmers' needs. So this is something which we have developed as Mahavistar.
We have to come out of this mindset that farmer is a poor guy, he cannot use technology, it will be too sophisticated for him. What Maharashtra has done is not only decided to lead the conversation, but also create its own blueprint that can now set a benchmark for many other states and maybe other countries
To follow. If AI can strengthen their confidence, we too are ready to learn, adapt, and collaborate. Because ultimately, the future of agriculture must belong to the farmer. Namaskar. When we speak about artificial intelligence, we often imagine robots, automation, or high-tech industries. But today we are asking a different question. Can artificial intelligence transform agriculture? Can it reduce uncertainties for farmers? Can it strengthen water planning? Can it make crop decisions more scientific? Can it increase incomes while reducing risks? Maharashtra has taken a historic step. It has become the first state in India to announce a dedicated artificial intelligence policy for the agricultural sector, the Maha-Agri AI Policy 2025 to 2029. This is not a pilot project. This is a structured policy framework backed by serious commitment and an investment of 500 crore rupees for the first 2 years. And to understand what this means for farmers, for India, and for the world, I'm joined by two leaders shaping this transformation. First, Mr. Vikas Rastogi, Additional Chief Secretary Agriculture, Government of Maharashtra. He is leading the implementation of this pioneering AI policy and guiding how the state integrates AI across the agricultural value chain. Welcome, Mr. Rastogi.
Thank you.
Second, Mr. Vikas Kanungo, Senior AI and Digital Transformation Expert. He has worked with governments across continents on leveraging AI and frontier technologies for agriculture and public systems transformation. Welcome, Mr. Kanungo. Thank you both for being here. Today's conversation is about leadership, responsibility, and the future of farming. Maharashtra has moved first. The question now is, how will this change agriculture as we know it? But before we discuss policy frameworks and global trends, I want to ask something very fundamental. When you think of AI in agriculture, what human problem are you trying to solve first? Is it income instability, climate unpredictability, water planning, market inefficiency? Let's begin there.
So let's think from the farmer's perspective first. What does agriculture mean for a farmer? The farmer is trying to solve various problems. It is about low productivity, it is weather unpredictability, the changes, climate change. And when he has the produce in his hand, when to sell, where to sell. So there are multiple problems that we are trying to resolve. And the policy looks in that direction. When we go a little deeper, for every farmer, the first issue that comes up is what to sow, what kind of crop is suitable for his land, what kind of seeds to get, how much fertilizer is required for his particular
Selected
crop and land. And depending on the weather, whether it's a Kharif or Rabi, when to irrigate, when not to irrigate. So all these problems statement is what we have kept in mind when framing this policy. And the idea is to produce advisories to give information in real time so that the farmer can take better decisions and utilize his all the inputs in a most efficient manner to get better income.
Mr. Rastogi, Maharashtra has become the first state in India to introduce dedicated AI policy for agriculture. Why do you feel the urgency to move now? Was it climate stress, yield stagnation, or market volatility?
Maharashtra is a rain-fed agriculture. Majority of the farmers have access to water only during monsoon. And one fallout of this is the productivity of many crops is lower than the international averages and all. Although farmers are using technology, some of the farmers are using technology to increase their yield and income, the scale is not much. And when they have to compete with countries like China and USA, they must have access to the best technologies. It could be robotics, drones, AI and all, so that they get the better yield and the better income. And that was the reason why our Honorable Chief Minister decided that we must be the first one to bring a dedicated policy of using AI in agriculture so that farmer can get access to the best technology, advisories and information for his farming.
Mr. Kanungo, from your global perspective, are you seeing subnational governments, states or provinces taking the lead like Maharashtra has taken? Or are most countries waiting for national AI strategies? Is Maharashtra early or is it right on time?
Yeah. I think two questions you asked. First is, since agriculture happens to be a very localized kind of a subject, you know, each district have their own soil, their own weather patterns, their own crops. So in this domain, most of the time, it is at the state level or the subnational level where these innovations are initiated. We've seen it not just for agriculture, but for urban and even when we were formulating the e-governance policy for the country, the innovations comes from the states. And then once you have enough innovations coming out and the learnings from them, what works, what doesn't work, then these things get scaled up at the national level. So that is answer to your first question, that it comes from the states because agriculture happens to be a very localized kind of a thing. Second thing, I think in terms of doing it as a pilot level or a policy level, I think those are the things which differentiate how you move about it. You know, most of the times, say for example, if you talk about a farmer, I have been working with more than 7 states in India and many countries. When you talk to the farmers, each of them would say that, you know, we're not afraid of working very hard. What we are afraid of is the unpredictability.
That's right.
I don't know whether it will rain tomorrow. I don't know the seeds I am buying, they'll give me some crop or something.
What is the quality of the seeds?
AI and these kinds of technologies can actually reduce that in unpredictability.
Uncertainty.
They will not change the weather events, they'll stay as it is. But now the farmer will know at least 3 weeks in advance that there might be a drought. And that is where it makes a huge difference if you use these technologies for being proactive rather than reactive. You know, that is what will change the lives of.
So you feel that Maharashtra is right on time?
I would say not just right on time, but ahead of the curve. So we've been working in this space for long. I've been in IT for last 30 years, and my experience is that either you lead the conversation or you follow up somebody else's blueprint.
Right.
What Maharashtra has done is not only decided to lead the conversation, but also create its own blueprint that can now set a benchmark for many other states and maybe other countries
to follow.
Mr.
Rastogi, you were saying earlier that, you know, our yield is not as much as some other countries. Our farmers are not able to give as much of a yield. would that also be because of a lot of our farmers are not aware of the standard operating practices? Will AI help in that also?
So yes, there are multiple reasons for low productivity. One, of course, is the selection of the seed itself.
Right.
And it starts
Over there.
as you said, package of practices. So what seed to select, what crop to select, how to prepare the seed, how to prepare the land, and how to monitor the growth of your crop. So there are various decisions the farmer has to take depending on the weather, depending on the crop stage, how much to irrigate, when to give fertigation, etc. And this all comes from the package of practices which our universities have designed, our ICR institutions. Now farmers must have access to it in real time. How do they get it? So the AI policy conceives a AI-driven advisory system called Mahavistar. So farmer on his mobile can get access to the information, the advisories in real time and take decisions. So that will take care of the productivity part of it, because if you are using the latest technology, then you will of course have better productivity.
This is not just about apps or advisory services, as I understand it. You are building shared digital public infrastructure, agricultural data exchange, geospatial intelligence, AI-driven traceability. How does this shift agriculture from fragmented schemes to a system-based approach?
So the modern agriculture relies heavily on data, right from the soil data, the data on weather, the market prices, market trends, availability of storages, the demand, all of these, and farmer needs to get access to all this data. Now currently they have access to data but from different platforms, so he has to switch from one platform to another and he doesn't know where to go and when to get that data.
Correct.
Apart from that, our universities also need this data for better research. Now they also don't have access at a single place. So agriculture data exchange is one such initiative where we get consent driven data sharing platform,
Right.
where farmers, FPOs, exporters, processors, researchers, all of them can get access to data and use that. Startups can also use the data for their innovative solution. So agriculture data exchange is one such platform which we have developed as a part of the policy. Now second is about the geospatial. Now we have so many satellites roaming over the earth. They collect very crucial and precious data. Now if we are able to access that, if we are able to
share it with all the farmers.
Yes. So that remote sensing images, they contain a lot of data about the crop health, crop condition, and on that basis we can issue advisories to farmer, this is what you need to do. So this is another geospatial data engine which we are developing. And third thing, as a consumer, I would like to get better quality of food. I would like to know how my food has been produced, where it has been produced. So I want traceability. I want some confidence about the quality of food.
Right.
So traceability platform
is very important in that.
As a DPI we are developing for the first time. As a consumer, we will have more trust. Farmers can get better prices because they can showcase that the produce is good, quality produce, and there is no, let's say, adverse chemical or other inputs have been used.
Right.
So these are the three things, and we are doing it as a system. Everything is combined as a part of policy. These are not piecemeal approaches. They are form a bedrock of our policy.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful to know. Mr. Kanungo, globally, how important is digital public infrastructure before AI can scale? Have you seen cases where countries tried AI without strong data foundations and struggled?
Yes, I think in a very simple language, if I were to explain DPI, it's like, say, for example, if your AI is like a very expensive racing car, say Ferrari, it needs a kind of a road on which
it can
you
travel.
can drive it. You can't drive a Ferrari in dirt road. So digital public infrastructure is that road which you build before your AI can run on it.
Got it.
Okay, so that infrastructure will have to have lots of data. Unless you have data, and I think as you asked about global experiences, there are many countries, say for example, who set up advisories without having good quality data.
Right.
That advisory, if it
Can be very inaccurate also.
generic for a farmer, say for example in India also, in many states, all the data you get is at the block level. So if there is one farm in a block which gets a disease, the advisory goes to the entire village to spray pesticide.
Which is not necessary perhaps.
Which is not necessary. But then you don't have the data at that level where you can have a farm-based advisory. I think Maharashtra is now
So you feel that Maharashtra is prepared? We have all the data? We are ready for this?
Maharashtra started very early actually. It has been more than 10 years. And you will be actually pleased to know that Maharashtra in about 6 years back developed something called a water budgeting tool. Which means if you are a farmer, based upon the weather data, the ground level, water level, the prediction of the weather for the next year, you will be told this is the amount of water you will have this year.
So you can plan what
you
crop.
You can plan which crop, what quantity of crop you should sow, how many seeds do you put in the ground so that this water is adequate. So I guess Maharashtra has those foundations ready, which basically prompted for a system-wide approach. As many other countries are just at the experimental level still.
Mr. Rastogi, 500 crore is a strong commitment, but for a farmer what matters is outcome. So in 2-3 years, what measurable change can we expect or should we expect? Yield stability, income improvement, risk reduction?
So I think for farmer, what is most important is cutting down on the cost of production and increasing his produce and getting better prices.
Right.
These three together basically will ensure that he gets more income.
He has a good experience overall, yes.
Absolutely. But there are a lot of issues that he has to face. If the weather changes suddenly, if there are heavy rains or there is a dry spell, then the productivity gets reduced. So the risk coverage is also an important part of it. So while making all those decisions, what farmer will get is the access to the information, reliable information and best quality advisories. So considering the data of what is the weather currently, what will be the forecast, depending on the area where farmers' lands are, what is the best package of practices, what are the market trends, everything gets combined and advisories are issued to the farmers to ensure they get the best, they are able to take the best possible decisions. So this will ultimately ensure that the risks are reduced, the output is increased and the incomes are increased. Now in 2 to 3 years, what we envision, the farmer will be able to access all this information on the mobile, whether it is text based or a voice based, and not only in local language Marathi, but also many of the tribal languages.
I see.
We already are moving in that direction of ensuring that our tribal farmers also have access to the best advisories available. So in 2 to 3 years time, they will be able to produce quality food and able to sell better at better prices in the markets which they don't have access to right now.
Right. Tell me, through this data that you have, through the app, can the government also advise? Because sometimes, all the farmers, suddenly a lot of them grow onions, so market mein bhi glut aa jata hai.
Yes.
So with this, data, can you also advise farmers, ki, listen, there's a lot of people growing onions, maybe you should try something else? Is that, forewarning you can give?
It is very much possible because the farmers are also reporting what crops they are growing.
Correct.
What crops they grow in the last year, before last. And we also know the market trends, arrivals and the prices. So we get a fair bit of idea that considering the last 2-3 years market trends and the production, what should be the optimum level of production in the current year. So it is possible to advise the farmers as to these are the crops that they should look into. And I think diversification is something which the farmers have to go to. Monocropping increases the risk. So the diversification will ensure that they get better income.
Mr. Kanungo, in other countries where AI has been deployed in agriculture, What realistic improvements have you observed? Are governments sometimes over-optimistic? What separates hype from real impact?
So I think as we were, saying earlier, I would just like to add to the question you asked, Mr. Rastogi also. That, it'll not only tell you what to grow, but also, as you said, there is a market glut. It also connects you to the places where you can sell.
हाँ, जहाँ demand है.
हाँ.
इस यहाँ पे नहीं है, but वहाँ पे है. तो you can.
So that predictability, and it has, in some countries, it has gone to a level where, because of a war in, say, for example, Ukraine, people are able to predict that, tell their farmers grow sunflower oil because it used to come from that region, and now there'll be a shortage of it, so you'll get a good
So you can
price
predict
of it.
that. You can predict that.
So coming to the question you asked about the hype versus the impact, I guess this has been true for the technology forever. It is more like a mirror. It reflects your intent. So if your intent is to exploit, you can create a system which will collapse the entire farming thing. But if your intent is to help, then technologies like AI would be able to amplify it many folds.
Really strengthen the farmers.
Yeah. So that is what differentiates hype and impact is your intent.
And which gets reflected in the policy, I
Yes.
suppose. Yes.
Policy basically reflects two things. One is the intent. Sometimes you have very good intent, but then your strategy and the roadmap to implement it
That you have
has
created.
to be informed by lots of learnings, your ground level. I have seen many governments saying, we get requests sometimes from our clients saying, let's do something in AI. It doesn't have to be like that for policy. You should say, let's improve farmers' income, right?
Correct.
And then you say how AI can help.
Help in that.
But if the intent is focused on means and not the goals, then that is where you say that,
Hype ज़्यादा हो गया, हाँ.
hype ज़्यादा हो गया या कुछ करना है because everybody is doing AI. I think in Maharashtra's case, the government took more than 7 months to not just creating a policy, consulting with farmers, consulting with industry, consulting with global experts, consulting with other practitioners. And after 7 months, after talking to everybody, the government came with a policy. So the chances of this getting translated into the impact on the ground are
Positive
much
impact.
higher because it's not a supply side kind of a thinking.
Got it.
It's more coming from the grassroots. Their demands, and then you know what you have to do and how do you deploy artificial intelligence in various thematic areas.
Right. Mr. Rastogi, rainfall patterns are changing. Can AI realistically help Maharashtra predict and manage climate variability at a scale? How will this support drought-prone regions?
So as I said, large parts of Maharashtra are rain-fed. And they don't have assured irrigation. And if we see last decade or so, the weather pattern has changed. Sometimes we get early rains, sometimes the monsoon withdrawal is very late in October, sometimes even November. Sometimes we have very heavy spells of rain for 2-3 days, resulting into floods. Sometimes we have 3 or 4 weeks of continuous dry spells. So all of this affects the crop adversely.
Correct.
Now we have IMD, which is Indian Meteorological Department. They issue the weather forecast of next 5 days or so. Earlier they were giving only at district level, and district is a very big unit. Now they have started giving it block level, even below.
Oh.
So giving that information is one part, but how do we take it to the farmers? And not only take farmers, but also ensuring that it is useful to them.
Right.
So if I am a farmer having a cotton crop with heavy cotton soils, then my requirement of irrigations are different from somebody who is growing soybean on a light soil. So multiple data sets have to be read together with the forecast to tell the farmer exactly what they need to do. So this is called hyperlocal advisories, which are tailored to the farmer's needs. So this is something which we have developed as Mahavistar in a very short time of let's say 7 to 8 months, more than 25 lakh farmers are using this system, and they are getting advisories in local language, getting real-time information for their crops.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Mr. Kanungo, are there global examples where AI has helped farmers adapt to climate shocks? What we were speaking earlier, insurance triggers, yield forecasting, soil monitoring. What lessons can Maharashtra learn from these earlier examples?
So globally, if you see in the field of crop insurance at least, AI has been mainstreamed.
Okay.
So if I have the data about the soil in a particular region, the rainfall patterns for last 10 years and also the prediction for next 2 years, I'm able to basically take care of the entire crop insurance thing. And even when a disaster strikes, say for example, when
suddenly the
cyclone,
weather changes,
hit Kerala, so after that, with the help of satellite pictures, the on-ground data, I'm able to, we were in many places, the claims, the insurance claims for the farmers, which used to take 6 months to settle, could be settled in 3 to 4 days.
Right.
Because I already have all the data of which areas are impacted, the map of that area. If a farmer comes from that area, I don't have to send an inspector physically to see whether his farm is affected or not, because
you
I
already
have that
know
information already. So in that area, I think it has been used a lot. Second,
yield forecasting?
Yield forecasting, to a great level, yes. And in many countries, as I said earlier, also to forecast what to grow. And we have, in India, we don't have those kinds of platforms as yet, but in many countries, say for example in South Korea, we have seen platforms where they don't only forecast the yield, but even before you harvest your crop, they only connect you to the buyers and you have the deals done. And this digital platform, the agency that is running it, which is with the help of the government, takes care of all your certifications, export licenses and everything. So it is not just forecasting, but keeping the entire supply chain ready for just-in-time kind of a shipping.
Right.
So people have reached that level. I guess Maharashtra could be one of those states, because we are also building a traceability DPI here, which when these trade agreements kick in and our farmer also gets ready to compete in a global market, we would probably have that entire infrastructure ready, which will help our farmers sell their produce globally and maybe at a much higher rate, because we have lots of GI tags. Say for example, your Hapus mango, which is famous globally.
Right.
But if you were staying in Europe and you could just by scanning a barcode verify that it has come from a region which is famous for it, you'll probably pay a higher price for it.
Yeah.
So that's the infrastructure which government is building, which we called DPIs earlier.
Mr. Rastogi, scientific water planning has shown transformative results in many villages over the years. Can AI amplify that science, predicting groundwater stress, optimizing crop water balance? How quickly can such tools reach farmers?
So in Maharashtra, we see in last 10 to 15 years, there are two famous and successful initiatives that have been taken. One is Jaluk Shivar, where for every village a scientific planning was done, and finding out how much water is available, how much has been already impounded, and creating more structures and working with the farmers. And second was Water Cup by Paani Foundation. Of course, you know it better than me. And this has been a real transformation. Not only water availability has increased, the communities have come together to use it in a more optimum manner. The farmers have changed their crops, farmers have diversified. So scientific water planning is instrumental, especially where the water availability is low in a state like Maharashtra. Now what AI can do is this scientific planning, along with other factors, can inform the farmer as to what they need to do. So, weather forecast, available water, the kind of crop they are growing, the pest and disease attack which might come up because of various other factors. So, together the AI is able to, as I said, give a hyper-local advisory to the farmer based on their crop condition. And this is already being done in Maharashtra. And as we grow, we continue to refine our models, give even better quality of advisories.
Correct. Actually, also starting early means you get a lot of understanding and learnings along the way, which you can then use and put it back in the system.
Absolutely.
Mr. Kanungo, water stress is not unique to Maharashtra. Are drought-prone regions globally integrating AI into watershed and irrigation planning? Is this becoming a global best practice?
Yes, I think the crops might be different, but drought in Vidarbha or Bundelkhand or some region in Africa remains to be the same. But what we have seen is not just AI, but also the associated technologies, which are like sensors on the ground, which will tell you, would help you. Say, for example, at the moment, the traditional farming is a flood farming. You fill up the entire field with water, and then you wait for the crop to come up.
Hope for the best.
It has to, with AI, you can move it from a flood farming to a drop farming, where you leverage every drop of water. And we've seen it in countries like Israel. Say Israel, lots of the areas are not cultivable. Still, they are being able to grow every kind of commodity, including fruits. So they have made it possible with the use of these technologies, artificial intelligence, sensors, controlled environment. They do it in the greenhouses. So,
right.
In fact, in one of the places we went to South Korea, and we asked them, you have good land. Why are you growing things in greenhouses? And people have been planning for years ahead. They said, maybe someday we'll have to live on Mars. So this kind of an environment will help us grow things there also. So the technology is being used not only to produce for today,
but to plan for tomorrow.
But also to plan for tomorrow, in case you have to, say, for example, the people who live in Antarctica, they grow, even Indian scientists have an orchard within their controlled environment, and they grow vegetables and all those things. Right. So, yes, with the help of artificial intelligence, you can take care of lots of these problems, but not just AI alone. Lots of other things, the other technologies, the agricultural expertise, etc.
Mr. Rastogi, whenever technology enters public systems, concerns arise about data privacy, algorithm bias, inclusion. How is that being addressed?
I think especially in AI, this is really important. And as you know, the Government of India has passed DPDP Act, Digital Protection and Privacy Act. And the idea is nobody's data should be used without his or her consent. And that is something which is the bedrock for us. When we are designing the system, the consent is must when it comes to personal data. Now, algorithmic bias is also equally important, because most of the models that have been developed, they have been trained on data from Europe and other countries. Now, what we require to do is train them on our data and our knowledge, which we have done extensively over last few months. So we have trained them and then tested it extensively. We have consulted our experts, scientists, field officials, some progressive farmers, and this process of continuously training, retraining goes on. So we know exactly what kind of advisories and information is coming out of the system. And inclusion, especially for Maharashtra, is really important. We have more than 15 million farmers, most of them have very small land holdings, and many of them don't even access to smartphone. So using feature phone, how do you get access to this advisory information is also a part of our strategy. So not only the privacy and getting access to everybody, but also getting access to validated knowledge,
Right.
knowledge which we can rely on, which we can trust upon.
Is there a way to, so I'm assuming, as time goes by, all this will get better and better.
Absolutely.
With better information locally coming in, accurate information locally coming in. But is there a way to check also, okay, is the advisory being given because AI is giving the advisory? पता लगा वो wrong advice दे रहा है और वो लगातार wrong advice दे रहा है. तो how do we check on that? कि यार ये, if it ever happens, because at the end of the day it's not a human being. So is there a way to check that?
Absolutely. So there are two things which we are doing. One is taking feedback from the farmer themselves, whether they found advisory useful, whether they thought the advisory was correct. So we got more than 97.5% positive feedback.
Oh,
and
that's
whatever
wonderful.
negative feedback we get, we immediately work upon that.
Correct.
What went wrong and retain the system. Secondly, we are also continuously in touch with our scientists to ensure that whatever comes out of our system is accurate, is validated. So it's a process of continuously learning and relearning as we increase
And retraining the...
Absolutely. As we bring more features, we have to be very, very conscious about how our models perform.
That's right. Mr. Kanungo, from a global standpoint, what ethical principles must governments adopt when deploying AI in agriculture? Where have countries gone wrong? What standards are emerging internationally?
So I think one of the basic principle is that when you're developing AI systems, don't treat the farmer as a data set. You will have to have in mind that he's a living human being with a family, and he wants to use this system to make his life better. When you become too robotic about designing these kinds of systems and think only from a technology point of view, then the systems don't remain ethical. Because one, it is driven, say for example, I am a technology person. When I will think about designing something for a farmer, I'll think from a technical viewpoint.
Correct.
If I don't talk to the farmer and assume that he's a data set because he has an ID, he has a UPI number, he has a mobile, he has a farm and he has a crop. And based on that, I build a system. Then that system will not be, one, it will be supply driven, it will not be ethically that good.
And it will not be robust also.
Yeah. And second is, I think the sovereign, as I think Sir has said, the sovereign systems, because when somebody creates an AI system in, say for example, Europe or US for a farmer, his farmer average land holding is 70 acres. So all the systems are with that kind of a bias in mind.
Correct.
When I develop a similar system for my farmer, I know my farmer is less than 1 acre. So everything I design in my AI system has to cater to that.
Correct.
Now, until we have our own context,
Absolutely.
we will be using a system which is developed for some other context, and we're trying to just
Thopo it here. वो यहाँ हमको
fit it
apply
there.
नहीं करता है.
तो वो नहीं चलेगा. So I think that is one in terms of ethics. Second, we have to come out of this mindset that farmer is a poor guy, he cannot use technology, it will be too sophisticated for him. In fact, it's the other way around. The technology has now become so intuitive that it has to learn what the farmer wants. Farmer doesn't have to learn how to use it. He just have to say, मैं अपना सोयाबीन कहाँ बेचूं? The technology will do all the complex things in the back end and tell him कि आपके पास में ये 4 markets हैं. But when we talk about, and we have seen this many times, whenever you talk about agriculture, farming, rural, you say no, उनके लिए बहुत high tech हो जाएगा. I think if we come out of,
Of
that
that mindset.
mindset, then we will be able to deliver systems which are, very purpose built, very contextual for the farmer. Talk to him in his language, give him the information he wants, not what we want to deliver.
Correct, correct.
So, I think those, and globally, I think that is a gap which is there. Most of these systems are built by a very few industries, especially the artificial intelligence. India is trying to change that, not just Maharashtra, but the National India AI Mission, which has funded many such companies who can build India-centric language models and AI platforms.
Right. Mr. Rastogi, Maharashtra is not only implementing policy, it is also hosting AI for Agri 2026 in Mumbai on Feb 22nd and 23rd. What is the objective of this global conference? Is it about investment? Is it about partnerships? Showcasing innovation, policy alignment, also learning from others, I guess?
So we talked about what Maharashtra has been doing, and a lot of wonderful things are going on. But there are a lot of things which are going globally. A lot of new things are coming up. And there are, I think, a huge learning opportunity for everybody, whether it's a startup, whether it's a farmer producer organization, whether it's a university or think tank. And the idea was to provide a platform where all of them can come together, deliberate, discuss, see what is working, what is not working, and how do we share our information for everybody's good. So AI for Agri Global Conference, which is happening on 22nd and 23rd of February in Mumbai, is an effort for creating a platform where every year we meet and discuss these things, take some learnings, improve upon them, and also form partnerships and networks for everybody's good. So what we are doing here is we have global institutions like World Bank, UN for Women, IFAD, ADB. So many other partners have also come. They are bringing their own expertise, the keynote speakers. From national level, we have ICR institutions, our own universities. We have a lot of startups, investors, corporates coming up, FPOs. They'll all be deliberating over 2 days as to how we can bring technology in a very, very simple manner to the farmer, to exporters, to processors, to market leaders, and also for consumers, for everybody's good. Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra will be inaugurating it on the 22nd of February. And we hope to achieve that everybody gets some new learning, networks are built, and which helps everybody.
Right. No, I think it's really wonderful, and year on year, I think this will really strengthen our agriculture. Yes. Mr. Kanungo, from your experience, how important are such global platforms? Do conferences like AI for Agri accelerate knowledge exchange and South-South collaboration? Could Maharashtra become a lighthouse model for emerging countries?
Yes, I think these kinds of events, what happens normally is we do something and we decide this is the best in the world, right? And many times we claim it also. We've done this, and there can be nothing more than that. These kinds of events, number one, they let you know what is happening globally. Maybe there is an opportunity to compare yourself not with another state in India, but with another country who might have started 10 years before you. And there are lots of learnings from them. Second, I think if I were to say, for example, if government of Maharashtra were to talk to all these experts one-on-one, it'll take more than 2 years. The expense will be huge. Say, you imagine a government delegation going from here to South Korea, to Netherlands, to Japan, to Brazil, trying to talk to a very few people there and bringing those learnings back. Here what we've done is, with a very small investment, you're bringing people from 10 countries to Mumbai. Also, this is very rare that all the funding agencies, World Bank, ADB, IFAD,
They're all going to be
FAO,
there.
UNDP, not just the country representatives, their global leadership is going to be here.
I see.
So that would open up lots of additional funding opportunities. Not just funding opportunities, but say, for example, Sir talked about this Mahavistar AI chatbot. And you talk about whether Maharashtra can be a lighthouse. I think that this chatbot, the way it provides information in local language to the farmers, could be replicated in entire African continent, and lots of other countries. So when somebody from World Bank comes here and sees, say for example, World Bank works in 185 countries, ADB works in entire Asia. When they see these systems, there is this knowledge that they get and they are able to frame a context as to how do I use it in that country. So we will not only become a lighthouse, but also able to help, since Maharashtra has this first mover advantage, we have lots of learnings. We can share that with other states, with other countries. And that is what would also make you a leader.
Correct.
You're not only doing it for yourself, you are contributing so that everybody else also grows along with you. So these conferences are an excellent platform for that. For knowledge exchange, and I guess in this conference lots of MOUs are being signed up.
Right.
Between government, research institutions from Netherlands, from other countries.
I see.
And you would build up a network where every year everybody comes together, talks about what we have done, what they have done, and share these learnings with each other, so that the growth is basically a co-creation rather than each one working in silos and trying to reinvent the wheel.
Sure. Are you happy with the participation this year, Mr. Rastogi?
Absolutely. It's really exciting. We have a lot of entries from startups, our FPOs, who are the main, I think, beneficiary of such kind of dialogue. Our universities are very, very exciting. And we are getting a lot of interest from global institutions. So I'm really happy and hopeful that we'll get some meaningful result out of this.
Great. Imagine 2030, a farmer in Vidarbha. What will be fundamentally different in his or her life because of this policy?
So the way I imagine is when all the policy pillars are getting executed, the farmer will start planning for a crop much before the season starts. And the planning, as you had discussed earlier, would depend on what to grow, what kind of crop to sow, based on the market, the prices, the fluctuations, based on the local conditions, and then select the best quality of seed which are suitable, depending on how long they want the crop to take for harvesting. Also plan the nutrition requirement, what kind of fertilizers to use at various stages of crop. All this planning will start much earlier, getting a soil sample tested. And as the crop grows, the farmer would be able to monitor it in real time using satellite, using the actual data on the ground. They can take photographs and find out whether there is any pest or disease on their crop and what to do depending on the weather forecast, whether they have to take some decisions. So throughout the crop life cycle, they will be able to monitor and take decisions accordingly when to harvest. Interestingly, last year in the month of November, we got a story from a farmer in Thane who shared his testimonial that the rice crop was ready for harvest. So it asked the question on Mahavistar, when should I harvest? And Mahavistar app, based on the weather forecast, said that next week there are likely to be rains. So delay harvest because there might be damage because of excess rains. And he said, I actually delayed it. There were rains. So in case I had harvested, my crop would have gone bad. So these are the kind of decisions the farmer would be able to take. And once the farmer has harvested, when to sell, whom to sell, where to store, all this information would be available. So it will be a kind of digital friend to a farmer who will advise at every stage depending on the need.
So it's like the Mahabharata. Every farmer will have a Krishna who's advising him,
Absolutely.
advising the Arjun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Mr. Kanungo, and from a global lens, if AI in agriculture succeeds worldwide, what structural transformation will we witness? Will agriculture become more predictable, more climate resilient, more attractive for youth?
I think all of the above. If I have to say it in one line, it would be like if AI is mainstreamed into agriculture, the farmer in the evening or in the night would sleep peacefully because the next day will not be a gamble for him. He would know everything in advance. You know, I'll know what is going to happen tomorrow, what will be the weather, which markets should I sell my produce, which are the warehouses available if I want to sell it 3 months down the line, not now because the prices will increase then.
Sure.
You know, so I think one of the biggest transformation I see if this succeeds would be a farmer sleeping peacefully without being worried about what will happen tomorrow, will it rain or not, will a storm come or not, because he'll know all these things in advance. And second big transformation I see is nowadays even a farmer's son doesn't want to do farming. With all these cutting edge technologies coming there, and maybe with people like you now talking about it, farming becomes a desirable profession even for the youth. You know, they want to come back to the village because they know that even while being in the village, they'll be connected to the entire world. They'll get data from satellites. They'll have drones to spray, pesticides. And they will have these kinds of gadgets which he can control from his mobile application. So farming becomes a profession which is desirable for youth. So that is another transformation that could happen if we do it the way Maharashtra is trying to do globally. I think this will become an example not for rest of the states in the country, but also I think at least for the global south.
I think fundamentally it will really finally depend on, you know, how economically viable or profitable it becomes, because once that happens, then even the youth will, you know, gravitate towards it.
I would like to add two things. So farmer, as we said, how he or she will be benefited. But from the government's perspective, we have lots of schemes, welfare measures for the farming. Now, if we get all this data available to us, what's happening where, what kind of requirements are there for different farmers and crops, I think we can design our policies in a much more meaningful manner, much more effectively. So for governments, this gives a good decision support system. And from universities' perspective, they are producing outstanding research. But with this kind of data and with the help of AI, that research could be speed up, it could be better in terms of outcomes, and they can solve the problems which farmers are actually facing. So I think not only for farmers' perspective, but for decision makers, for the government, as well as for the universities.
तो ऐसा कुछ आप लोग फिल्मों के लिए नहीं बना रहे हैं ऐप, AI ऐप? हम लोग को भी हेल्प करिए भाई.
I think फिल्मों में, as I said, you know, agriculture is the last sector. फिल्मों में तो आप बहुत पहले से ये सब चल रहा है.
Market predictions, all that will really help us a lot. But jokes apart, you know, I had one more question that, you know, what about farmers who want to grow organically, you know, without using chemicals? Is this, you know, going to help them as well?
So this is.
What if I'm a farmer who doesn't want to use, you know, chemicals?
Yeah.
It will guide me also.
Yes, if you say, for example, go to these systems and ask for recipes for organic farming, it will tell you how to create a fertilizer, which is,
Sure.
and there are, since I have worked in a project in Kerala also, there are recipes they have from the Vedic times.
Sure.
And there's one institution which has created a compendium of all these recipes and fed it to a AI system.
Right.
So you can go ask about coconut, what kind of recipe I could have for a fertilizer. Second thing I think which was also talked about, this entire traceability and certification. You know, it is not only about growing organically, but also proving to the buyer that this has been grown organically.
Correct.
For that, there are these traceability systems which you just scan a barcode. It will give you entire, in our language we call it the digital product passport. The way passport has your visa, an entire journey from where you came. This is a digital product passport which tells about the entire journey from seed to the shelf. What has happened, what kind of chemicals had gone in. So for organic, yes, this will give you recipes, this will help others know this was grown organically so that you get a better pricing.
Sure.
And for the end user to know that this product is safe, you know, this doesn't have those kinds of chemicals. Yes, this can be very helpful, and there are many examples.
Well, Maharashtra has moved first, the world is observing. If this succeeds, it could redefine how governments approach AI in agriculture. Mr. Rastogi, one message to farmers?
My message to farmers, not only in Maharashtra but all the farmers, would be the technology is there to help you. Now, you should trust in technologies and always give your inputs back so that we can learn and relearn and improve. But this is a golden opportunity. The traditional practices have brought us so far. I think to compete with the best in the world, we need to adopt technologies, and this policy gives us that opportunity, gives us that leverage to improve, and the government of Maharashtra is there to support you. We need to work together.
Mr. Kanungo, your final words?
I think I would like to tell the governments and also the practitioners who are working in this domain that technology can do multiple things, but what it actually delivers is limited not by the capacity of the technology, but by your imagination. To what purpose? It's like a sword. You know, you can use it whatever way you want.
Right.
So it's, and I always
It's a powerful tool.
And I always say this: the tool is powerful, but its usage is limited by your imagination, not by the power of the tool.
Got it. Got it.
You know, how do you want to use it? Say, for example, nuclear power. You can use it for providing electricity to the entire world, but you can also use it for destroying entire world. So it's totally dependent on not the power of technology, but your intent and your imagination as to how do you convert your intent into a structured roadmap or a deployment.
Sure.
I think that's what I would like to say.
Thank you so much, both of you. This has been very, very enlightening, and I'm sure everyone listening to this podcast will take a lot from this conversation. If we can combine community mobilization, scientific water planning, ethical AI deployment, and responsible governance, then perhaps this will not just be an AI policy, it will be a resilience movement. Through Paani Foundation, we are committed to mobilizing farmers to adopt scientific tools. If AI can strengthen their confidence, we too are ready to learn, adapt, and collaborate. Because ultimately, the future of agriculture must belong to the farmer. Thank you. Jai Hind. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.